Cleared for pushback Turkish 8571. Rocky ground, Turkish 8571 ready to taxi. Taxi to 27 Turkish 8571. Rocky Tower, Turkish 8571 ready for takeoff on 27. Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 8571.
Rocky clearance. Good evening, Egypt Air 4347 ready for pushback at Bravo 6. Cleared for pushback Egypt Air 4347.
Rocky Tower. Good evening, Almacan 74902 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Almacan 74902.
Rocky ground, Egypt Air 4347 ready to taxi. Taxi to 27 Egypt Air 4347.
Rocky ground, all Nikon 74902 taxi to the gates. Rocky ground, all Nikon 74902 requesting taxi to the gates.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Turkish 64903 ready for pushback at Bravo 5.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Air Canada 2988 is on final for 27.
Rocky Tower, Egypt Air 4347 ready for takeoff on 27. Cleared for takeoff on 27 Egypt Air 4347.
Cleared to land on 27 Air Canada 2988.
Taxi to gate Alpha 1 all Nikon 74902.
Cleared for pushback Turkish 64903.
Rocky ground, Air Canada 2988 taxi to the gates.
Rocky ground, Turkish 64903 ready to taxi. Taxi to 27 Turkish 64903.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Speedbird 7989 ready for pushback at Alpha 3.
Cleared to land on 27 Lion into 9604.
Taxi to gate Bravo 6 Air Canada 2988.
Cleared for pushback Speedbird 7989. Rocky ground, Speedbird 7989 ready to taxi. Taxi to 27 Speedbird 7989.
Rocky ground, Lion into 9604 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 64903.
Taxi to gate Bravo 5 Lion into 9604.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Lion into 2605 ready for pushback at Bravo 4.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Korean 1870 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Korean 1870.
Rocky Tower, Speedbird 7989 ready for takeoff on 27.
Taxi to 27 Lion into 2605.
Line up and wait on 27 Speedbird 7989.
Rocky ground, Korean 1870 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Speedbird 7989.
Taxi to gate Bravo 4 Korean 1870.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Air Canada 90871 ready for pushback at Alpha 2. Cleared for pushback Air Canada 90871.
Rocky Tower, Lion Inter 2605 ready for takeoff on 27.
Taxi to 27 Air Canada 90871.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 2605.
Rocky Tower, Air Canada 90871 ready for takeoff on 27. Cleared for takeoff on 27 Air Canada 90871.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Korean 1047 ready for pushback at Alpha 5.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Lion Inter 5046 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 5046.
Taxi to 27 Korean 1047.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 5046 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Korean 1047.
Cleared for pushback Speedbird 579
Rocky Tower, good evening. Turkish 379 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 379
Taxi to 27 Speedbird 579
Taxi to gate Bravo 1 Lion Inter 5046.
Rocky clearance, good evening. All Nippon 749 ready for pushback at Alpha 1.
Rocky ground, Turkish 379 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for pushback All Nippon 749
Rocky clearance, good evening. Berlin 3289 ready for pushback at Bravo 3.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Speedbird 8288 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 8288.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Speedbird 579 Taxi to 27 All Nippon 749
Taxi to gate Alpha 5 Turkish 379
Taxi to 27 Berlin 3289.
Rocky Tower, All Nippon 749 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky ground, Speedbird 8288 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 All Nippon 749
Taxi to gate Alpha 3 Speedbird 8288.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Lion Inter 4104 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 4104.
Rocky ground, Berlin 8105 ready to taxi.
Rocky Tower, Berlin 3289 ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared for pushback Air Canada 2989. Taxi to 27 Berlin 8105.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 3289.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 4104 requesting taxi to the gates.
Taxi to 27 Air Canada 2989.
Taxi to gate Alpha 1 Lion Inter 4104.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Berlin 4571 ready for pushback at Alpha 4.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Lion Inter 6570 is on final for 27.
Cleared for pushback Lion Inter 9605.
Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 6570.
Rocky ground, Berlin 4571 ready to taxi.
Rocky Tower, Berlin 8105 ready for takeoff on 27.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 9605.
Taxi to 27 Berlin 4571.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 8105. Line up and wait on 27 Air Canada 2989er.
Rocky Tower, good evening. US Air 7346 is on final for 27. Clear to land on 27 US Air 7346.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 6570 requesting taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Air Canada 2989er.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 6347 ready to taxi.
Line up and wait on 27 Berlin 4571.
Taxi to 27 Korean 1871.
Taxi to gate Alpha 4 Lion Inter 6570.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 6347.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 9605.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Korean 2492 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Korean 2492.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 4571.
Taxi to gate Alpha 2 US Air 7346. Line up and wait on 27 Lion Inter 6347.
Rocky Tower, Korean 1871 ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 6347.
Rocky ground, Korean 2492 taxi to the gates.
Clear for takeoff on 27 Korean 1871.
Taxi to gate Bravo 7 Korean 2492.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Turkish 99988 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 99988. Rocky ground, Turkish 99988 taxi to the gates.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Lion Inter 5047 ready for pushback at Bravo 1.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Berlin 1604 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Berlin 1604.
Cleared for pushback Lion Inter 5047.
Rocky ground, Turkish 98988 requesting taxi to the gates.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 5047 ready to taxi.
Rocky ground, Berlin 1604 taxi to the gates.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 5047.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Berlin 5870 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Berlin 5870.
Taxi to gate Bravo 5 Turkish 98988.
Taxi to gate Bravo 3 Berlin 1604. Rocky clearance, good evening. Turkish 379 ready for pushback at Alpha 5. Cleared for pushback Turkish 379 Rocky ground, Turkish 379 ready to taxi.
Rocky ground, Berlin 5870 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 5047.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Berlin 3046 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Berlin 3046.
Taxi to 27 Turkish 379
Taxi to gate Bravo 1 Berlin 5870.
Rocky ground, Speedbird 8289 are ready to taxi.
Line up and wait on 27 Turkish 379
Rocky clearance, good evening. Lion Inter 4105 ready for pushback at Alpha 1.
Taxi to 27 Speedbird 8289 are.
Clear for pushback Lion Inter 4105.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 379
Rocky Tower, good evening. Lion Inter 8792 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 8792.
Taxi to gate Bravo 6 Berlin 3046.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 4105.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Speedbird 8289 are.
Line up to wait on 27 Lion Inter 4105. Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 4105. Rocky ground, Lion Inter 8792 taxi to the gates. Taxi to gate Bravo 4 Lion Inter 8792.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Philippines 4288 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Philippines 4288.
Cleared for pushback Lion Inter 6571.
Rocky clearance, good evening. US Air 7347 ready for pushback at Alpha 2.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 6571.
Cleared for pushback US Air 7347.
Rocky ground, Philippines 4288 taxi to the gates. Taxi to gate Bravo 2 Philippines 4288.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Turkish 6104 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 6104.
Taxi to 27 US Air 7347.
Rocky Tower, Lion Inter 6571 ready for takeoff on 27. Line up and wait on 27 Lion Inter 6571.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Korean 24903 ready for pushback at Bravo 7.
Rocky Tower, US Air 7347 ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared for pushback Korean 24903.
Rocky ground, Turkish 6104 taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Speedbird 7570 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 7570.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 6571.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 US Air 7347.
Taxi to 27 Korean 24903.
Taxi to gate Alpha 1 Turkish 6104.
Cleared for pushback Turkish 9989.
Rocky ground, Speedbird 7570 taxi to the gates. Taxi to gate Alpha 3 Speedbird 7570.
Rocky Tower, good evening. Egypt Air 2346 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Egypt Air 2346.
Taxi to 27 Turkish 9989.
Rocky Tower, Korean 24903 ready for takeoff on 27. Line up and wait on 27 Korean 24903.
Rocky clearance, good evening. Berlin 1605 ready for pushback at Bravo 3. Cleared for pushback Berlin 1605.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Korean 24903.
Taxi to gate Alpha 5 Egypt Air 2346.
Rocky Tower, good evening. All Nippon 94902 is on final for 27. Clear to land on 27 All Nippon 94902.
Taxi to 27 Berlin 1605.
Rocky Tower, Turkish 9989 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky ground, ALL Nippon 94902 taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower good evening, Berlin 19088 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Berlin 19088.
Rocky ground, ALL Nippon 949 requesting taxi to the gates. Taxi to gate Alpha 2 all Nippon 949
Line up and wait on 27 Turkish 989.
Rocky Tower, Berlin 1605 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky clearance good evening, Berlin 5871 ready for pushback at Bravo 1. Cleared for pushback Berlin 5871.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 989.
Rocky Tower good evening, Lion Inter 5604 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 5604.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 1605.
Taxi to gate Alpha 4 Berlin 19088.
Taxi to 27 Berlin 5871.
Taxi to 27 Berlin 3047.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 5604 taxi to the gates. Rocky ground, Lion Inter 5604 requesting taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower good evening, Egypt Air 3870 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Egypt Air 3870.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 5871.
Taxi to gate Bravo 7 Lion Inter 5604.
Rocky Tower, Berlin 3047 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky ground, Egypt Air 3870 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 3047.
Rocky Tower good evening, Air Canada 8046 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Air Canada 8046.
Taxi to gate Bravo 5 Egypt Air 3870.
Rocky clearance good evening, Lion Inter 87903 ready for pushback at Bravo 4. Cleared for pushback Lion Inter 87903.
Rocky clearance good evening, Philippines 4289 are ready for pushback at Bravo 2.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 87903.
Rocky ground, Air Canada 8046 taxi to the gates. Cleared to land on 27 Egypt Air 47902.
Cleared for pushback Philippines 4289. Taxi to 27 Philippines 4289.
Rocky ground, Air Canada 8046 requesting taxi to the gates. Taxi to gate Bravo 6 Air Canada 8046.
Rocky Tower, Lion Inter 87903 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky ground, Egypt Air 47902 taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower good evening, KLM 6288 is on final for 27. Clear to land on 27 KLM 6288.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 87903.
Taxi to gate Bravo 4 Egypt Air 47902.
Cleared for pushback Turkish 6105.
Line up and wait on 27 Philippines 4289.
Cleared for pushback Speedbird 7571.
Rocky ground, Turkish 6105 ready to taxi.
Rocky Tower good evening, Berlin 7104 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Berlin 7104.
Taxi to gate Bravo 2 KLM 6288.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Philippines 4289.
Line up and wait on 27 Turkish 6105.
Taxi to 27 Speedbird 7571. Rocky Tower, Speedbird 7571 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky ground, Berlin 7104 taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower good night, All Nippon 2570 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 All Nippon 2570.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 6105.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Speedbird 7571.
Taxi to 27 Egypt Air 2347.
Taxi to Gate Bravo 3 Berlin 7104.
Rocky ground, All Nippon 2570 taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower good night, Asia 90346 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Asia 90346.
Taxi to gate Bravo 1 All Nippon 2570.
Rocky Tower, Egypt Air 2347 ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared for pushback All Nippon 94903.
Line up and wait on 27 Egypt Air 2347.
Taxi to 27 All Nippon 94903.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Egypt Air 2347.
Rocky Tower good night, Philippines 14902 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Philippines 14902.
Taxi to gate Alpha 5 Asia 90346.
Rocky Tower, ALL Nippon 94903 ready for takeoff on 27. Line up and wait on 27 All Nippon 94903.
Cleared for pushback Berlin 19089er.
Rocky Tower good night. US Air 5988 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 US Air 5988.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 All Nippon 94903.
Rocky ground, Philippines 14902 taxi to the gates.
Taxi to 27 Berlin 19089er.
Taxi to gate Alpha 3 Philippines 14902.
Cleared for pushback Lion Inter 5605.
Rocky Tower, Berlin 19089er ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared to land on 27 Korean 3604.
Taxi to gate Alpha 1 US Air 5988.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 19089er.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 5605.
Rocky clearance good night, Air Canada 8047 ready for pushback at Bravo 6. Cleared for pushback Air Canada 8047.
Rocky Tower good night, Air Canada 8870 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Air Canada 8870.
Taxi to gate Alpha 4 Korean 3604.
Taxi to 27 Air Canada 8047.
Rocky clearance good night, Egypt Air 3871 ready for pushback at Bravo 5.
Line up and wait on 27 Lion Inter 5605.
Continue taxi Air Canada 8047.
Rocky Tower good night, Berlin 4046 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Berlin 4046.
Taxi to 27 Egypt Air 3871.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 5605.
Taxi to gate Alpha 2 Air Canada 8870.
Rocky Tower, Air Canada 8047 ready for takeoff on 27.
Continue taxi Air Canada 8870.
Rocky Tower good night, Philippines 67902 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Philippines 67902. Cleared for pushback KLM 6289er.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Air Canada 8047.
Rocky ground, Berlin 4046 requesting taxi to the gates.
Taxi to 27 Egypt Air 47903.
Taxi to 27 KLM 6289er.
Rocky Tower good night, Speedbird 7288 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 7288.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Egypt Air 3871.
Rocky ground, Philippines 679 taxi to the gates.
Taxi to gate Bravo 7 Berlin 4046.
Taxi to gate Bravo 5 Philippines 679 Cleared for takeoff on 27 KLM 6289.
Rocky Tower good night, US Air 2104 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 US Air 2104.
Cleared for pushback Berlin 7105. Rocky ground, Speedbird 7288 requesting taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Egypt Air 4793.
Taxi to 27 All Nippon 2571.
Taxi to 27 Berlin 7105.
Rocky Tower good night, KLM 9570 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 KLM 9570.
Taxi to gate Bravo 4 US Air 2104.
Taxi to gate Bravo 6 Speedbird 7288.
Rocky Tower, All Nippon 2571 ready for takeoff on 27. Cleared for takeoff on 27 All Nippon 2571.
Cleared to land on 27 Egypt Air 1346.
Rocky clearance good night, Asia 9347 ready for pushback at Alpha 5.
Taxi to gate Bravo 2 KLM 9570.
Rocky Tower, Berlin 7105 ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared for pushback Asia 9347.
Line up and wait on 27 Berlin 7105.
Taxi to 27 Asia 9347. Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 5492.
Cleared for pushback Philippines 14903.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 7105.
Taxi to gate Bravo 3 Egypt Air 1346. Taxi to 27 Philippines 14903.
Line up and wait on 27 Asia 9347.
Rocky clearance good night. US Air 5989 ready for pushback at Alpha 1.
Cleared to land on 27 Air Canada 3988.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Asia 9347. Taxi to gate Bravo 1 Speedbird 5492.
Rocky ground, US Air 5989 ready to taxi.
Line up and wait on 27 Philippines 14903.
Taxi to 27 US Air 5989.
Rocky Tower good night, Air Canada 8604 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Air Canada 8604.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Philippines 14903.
Taxi to gate Alpha 5 Air Canada 3988.
Rocky Tower, US Air 5989 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky clearance good night, Korean 3605 ready for pushback at Alpha 4.
Rocky Tower good night, Egypt Air 4870 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Egypt Air 4870.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 US Air 5989.
Taxi to gate Alpha 3 Air Canada 8604.
Taxi to 27 Korean 3605.
Rocky Tower good night, Lion Inter 6046 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 6046.
Cleared for pushback Air Canada 8871.
Taxi to gate Alpha 1 Egypt Air 4870.
Taxi to 27 Berlin 4047.
Line up and wait on 27 Korean 3605.
Taxi to 27 Air Canada 8871. Rocky Tower good night, Asia 77902 is on final for 27.
Cleared to land on 27 Asia 77902.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Korean 3605.
Taxi to gate Alpha 4 Lion Inter 6046. Rocky clearance good night, Philippines 67903 ready for pushback at Bravo 5.
Rocky Tower good night, Egypt Air 2288 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Egypt Air 2288.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Air Canada 8871.
Rocky Tower, Berlin 4047 ready for takeoff on 27.
Taxi to gate Alpha 2 Asia 77902.
Taxi to 27 Philippines 67903.
Rocky Tower good night, US Air 90104 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 US Air 90104.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Berlin 4047.
Rocky ground, Egypt Air 2288 taxi to the gates. Rocky ground, Egypt Air 2288 requesting taxi to the gates. Rocky Tower good night, Lion Inter 1570 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 1570.
Rocky clearance good night, Speedbird 7289 are ready for pushback at Bravo 6.
Taxi to gate Bravo 7 Egypt Air 2288.
Rocky Tower, Philippines 67903 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky Tower good night, Turkish 5346 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 5346.
Rocky Tower, Philippines 67903 cancel takeoff.
Rocky ground, US Air 90104 requesting taxi to the gates.
Taxi to 27 US Air 2105.
Taxi to 27 Speedbird 7289er.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 1570 taxi to the gates.
Rocky ground, Philippines 67903 taxi to the gates.
Rocky clearance good night, KLM 90571 ready for pushback at Bravo 2.
Rocky Tower good night. Lion Inter 34902 is on final for 27.
Taxi to gate Bravo 5 US Air 90104.
Rocky ground, Turkish 5346 taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower, Lion Inter 34902 is going around.
Taxi to gate Bravo 6 Lion Inter 1570.
Rocky Tower good night. Speedbird 8988 is on final for 27.
Taxi to gate Bravo 4 Philippines 67903.
Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 8988.
Rocky Tower, US Air 2105 ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared for pushback Egypt Air 1347.
Rocky ground, Turkish 5346 requesting taxi to the gates. Cleared for pushback KLM 90571. Rocky Tower good night, Lion Inter 4604 is on final for 27.
Taxi to 27 Egypt Air 1347.
Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 4604.
Rocky clearance good night, Speedbird 5493 ready for pushback at Bravo 1. Cleared for takeoff on 27 US Air 2105.
Taxi to 27 KLM 90571. Rocky Tower good night, Turkish 6870 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 6870. Taxi to 27 Air Canada 3989er.
Rocky ground, Speedbird 8988 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Speedbird 7289er.
Taxi to 27 Speedbird 5493.
Taxi to gate Bravo 1 Lion Inter 4604. Cleared for takeoff on 27 KLM 9er 571. Taxi to gate Bravo 2 Turkish 5346.
Rocky Tower good night. Turkish 7046 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 7046.
Taxi to gate Bravo 3 steeper date 988.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Egypt Air 1347.
Taxi to gate Alpha 5 Turkish 6870.
Rocky Tower good night. KLM 279er2 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 KLM 279er2.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Air Canada 39er 89er.
Taxi to 27 Air Canada 8605.
Cleared for pushback Egypt Air 4871. Taxi to gate Alpha 3 Turkish 7046.
Rocky Tower good night. Lion Inter 34902 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 34902.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Speedbird 54903.
Taxi to 27 Egypt Air 4871.
Line up and wait on 27 Air Canada 8605.
Rocky Tower good night. Lion Inter 9288 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 9288.
Taxi to gate Alpha 1 KLM 279er2. Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 6047.
Rocky Tower, Egypt Air 4871 ready for takeoff on 27.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Air Canada 8605.
Rocky Tower good night. Lion Inter 1104 is on final for 27. Taxi to gate Alpha 4 Lion Inter 34902.
Rocky ground, Egypt Air 2289 are ready to taxi.
Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 1104.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Egypt Air 4871.
Rocky Tower, Lion Inter 6047 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky Tower good night. Air Canada 5570 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Air Canada 5570.
Taxi to 27 Asia 7793.
Taxi to gate Alpha 2 Lion Inter 9288.
Taxi to 27 Egypt Air 2289er.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 1104 requesting taxi to the gates.
Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 3346.
Taxi to 27 US Air 90105.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 6047.
Cleared for pushback Lion Inter 1571.
Line up and wait on 27 Asia 7793.
Rocky ground, Air Canada 5570 requesting taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower good night. Lion Inter 849er2 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 849er2.
Taxi to gate Bravo 5 Lion Inter 1104.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 1571. Cleared for takeoff on 27 Egypt Air 2289er.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Asia 7793.
Rocky Tower good night. US Air 49er88 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 US Air 49er88.
Rocky ground, Speedbird 3346 taxi to the gates.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 US Air 90105.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 849er2 taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower good morning. Asia 6604 is on final for 27. Taxi to gate Bravo 7 Air Canada 5570.
Cleared for pushback Speedbird 89er.
Cleared to land on 27 Asia 6604.
Taxi to gate Bravo 6 Speedbird 3346.
Rocky ground, Lion Inter 849er2 requesting taxi to the gates.
Rocky Tower, good morning. Speedbird 7870 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 7870. Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion into 1571.
Rocky ground, US Air 4988 taxi to the gates.
Taxi to 27 Speedbird 8989.
Taxi to 27 Turkish 5347.
Rocky ground, Asia 6604 taxi to the gates.
Cleared to land on 27 Korean 2046.
Rocky clearance, good morning. Lion Inter 4605 ready for pushback at Bravo 1. Taxi to gate Bravo 3 Lion Inter 84902.
Rocky Tower, Speedbird 8989 ready for takeoff on 27.
Rocky ground, Speedbird 7870 taxi to the gates.
Taxi to gate Bravo 2 US Air 4988.
Rocky Tower, good morning. Turkish 97902 is on final for 27.
Taxi to 27 Turkish 6871.
Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 97902. Taxi to 27 Turkish 7047.
Rocky ground, Asia 6604 requesting taxi to the gates.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 4605.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Speedbird 8989.
Rocky Tower, good morning. US Air 1288 is on final for 27.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 5347.
Taxi to gate Alpha 3 Korean 2046.
Cleared to land on 27 US Air 1288.
Taxi to gate Bravo 1 Asia 6604.
Rocky Tower, good morning. Turkish 5104 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Turkish 5104.
Taxi to 27 KLM 27903.
Taxi to gate Alpha 5 Speedbird 7870.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 7047. Taxi to gate Alpha 1 Turkish 97902.
Cleared for pushback Lion Inter 3493.
Rocky Tower, good morning. Speedbird 3570 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Speedbird 3570.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Turkish 6871.
Taxi to gate Alpha 4 US Air 1288.
Taxi to 27 Philippines 67903.
Line up and wait on 27 Lion Inter 4605.
Rocky Tower, good morning. Lion Inter 8346 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 Lion Inter 8346.
Rocky clearance, good morning. Lion Inter 9289 ready for pushback at Alpha 2.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 3493. Taxi to gate Bravo 4 Turkish 5104. Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 1105.
Line up and wait on 27 KLM 27903.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 4605.
Rocky Tower, good morning. US Air 4492 is on final for 27. Cleared to land on 27 US Air 4492.
Taxi to gate Alpha 2 Speedbird 3570.
Taxi to 27 Lion Inter 9289.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 Lion Inter 3493.
Cleared for takeoff on 27 KLM 27903.
Taxi to gate Bravo 5 Lion Inter 8346.